I'm going to introduce founder and CEO of Bait-2-Go, JR Paquette. And this is a really unique, big market in the fishing accessory world. One that I've grown to learn that is much bigger than I thought. It's a convenient holding system that is very versatile, and portable, and convenient. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce JR Paquette to the stage.
Good evening. My name is JR Paquette. I'm President and CEO of Bait-2-Go. I'm also a pharmacist with a passion for fishing. Our first slide, you can see we have some product on some retail shelves, and we'll talk about this further up. So in Canada alone, this is a stat that may blow your mind, but $8.3 billion are spent by anglers annually to support their passion, which is recreational fishing. 250 million of that is the growing fishing accessory market. And an interesting stat is that there are more Canadian adults that fish than play golf or play hockey combined. So here's the problem that we're trying to solve. The safest place to be in a boat is sitting down. So you can imagine having small children or grandparents and they're going fishing, and the waves are a little choppy. The bottom of the boat is littered with fishing accessories. And you get up and move around to try and access the bait bucket. And things are a little dicey. You can have some close calls, such as this one. And the thing I was always annoyed with fishing, every time you need to access your bait, you have to pull one of these up. And you let it drain on the side of the boat. The waves are coming, they're crashing, they're splashing in your face. Finally, it drains. You bring it inside the boat. You open this flap with that little orange net, you grab a minnow, put one to your partner in the front, grab a minnow for yourself, put it back in, and then repeat the process every time you need to access your bait. So I thought there must be a better way. I went into some of the stores to try and find a product that would help with this solution. I couldn't find any, so I made one. And since then I had some friends that had asked me to make one for them, and I thought, you know what, I might be onto something. So here's a solution. It's Bait-2-Go. It's portable, it's lightweight. It's actually lightweight even when full. It's very durable, it's made out of polypropylene, and it's easy to use. It comes as a kit. You'll notice this is your black bracket. You all have it on your tables. Feel free to manipulate them. As soon as you sit down in the boat, you put your bracket down, and you're ready to go. You slide it in, and you can start fishing. It also comes with, the backside has some keyhole spots for the suction cups, which you actually put in and move upwards, and that'll lock it in place, and you can stick it on, for example, this sea-doo, a non-porous, smooth texture. This black bracket has a yellow rail now, which does come off, and it looks like this once it's off. The backside is nice and smooth, so you can actually put your two-way tape or your Velcro on the backside, and you can stick that anywhere you want in your boat or on the vessel you're in. It also has two holes, so you can fabricate your own little wooden bracket for your pontoon boat or your kayak and screw it into place. And you can really use it anywhere you want. I usually put 10 to 12 minnows. You can use worms, leeches, shrimp, crawfish, spawn bags. It actually fits ice at the bottom as well. And it's very easy to use. Let me give you a quick demo. But before we do the demo, just to let you know, usually when you reel in and you lost your bait, typically you hang your fishing rod on the side of the boat, and that hook is just dangling all over the place. If you have small kids, it's a little dicey to do that. So what we do, you grab your hook, and you usually link the bait to the hook when it comes to hooking your bait. So you lift up the sidebar. What that does, it lifts up all your bait, and you typically grab it, put it on, throw your hook back in the water. When you lift that, it lifts everything. It's actually effortless. Seniors can handle it, kids can handle it with ease, no troubles. You let it go back in, twist the lid, and you're done. If you need to refresh your water, you simply overboard, the water comes out, You dunk it 2 minutes or a couple seconds in the water, and it fills, and you're basically done. So why is Bait-2-Go a little bit better than the others? Well, it's very portable, it's light, it's safe, it's very versatile. You can actually put it on your hip while walking to your next little secret hole, or fishing on Manitoulin Island in the river, and it'll hold nicely there. Like I said, kids can handle it, seniors can handle it with ease. It's made to complement other larger buckets. It's not made to replace this holding tank. For example, if you're going 2 guys, you still need your 6 dozen minnows. From there, you put 12 minnows in here. And once you've expired the 12, you use them all up. You get up once, you put another 12, and you just got up once for 24 minnows. And potentially, both of you in the boat get up once each for 48 minnows. So coming back to that second slide, the element of safety and convenience has been respected. So, year 1 and 2, it was word of mouth. We started selling in December. I've been selling from my basement in my house. I've done some trade shows. I met some lodge owners. I met some campground owners. And I didn't know that. I didn't realize it. But they actually order for their gift shops, which was kind of interesting. Some of the corporate companies are buying this for key staff members or prominent customers. Our price point at this stage is $20 to $30 a unit. We are testing it in quite a few retailers. Our list is actually twice as long. I'm not going to list them all, but we have Rackles up top. In the center, we have Chum It Up, which is an interesting one. Went to Florida for the March break, and I brought a couple of units, and I presented it to a couple of bait shops, and they really liked it. They were very interested, and they said to call them back in June or July. So that's coming up. Year 3 and on, we're looking to establish ourselves in larger retailers such as the Costco's, the Canadian Tires, the Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's. I'm happy to announce that Home Hardware is now on the left-hand side because I do have some exposure as of this week. Our financial forecast, well, the average sale so far is $25. I'd like to sell all the units that we currently have for this year. As the years go by, for the next 3 years, that price point is probably going to come down a little bit because there's going to be more hands in the bucket. And however, the amount of units sold should increase, which will give us a little bit of leverage when it comes to product manufacturing. It should reduce our cost per unit at that stage. Our ask is $400,000, comprised of $200,000 in the form of equity and leverage, with $200,000 in government grants. We're going to use these funds for marketing, VP of sales, sportsman shows, trade shows, maybe tweaking our molds, or making new molds. Our exit strategies could be the licensing of the intellectual property to third parties or the outright sale of the company. My team, basically myself and the kids you saw walking around, my wife, my sister, my parents, we order the parts that arrive at the house and we assemble in the basement. I must say that the novelty wears off after about 20 to 100 units. Nonetheless, it's rewarding. Mitch Uno is my engineer. I graduated from Queens, and he's been instrumental in the design of this product. My advisory board, Joe Giuliani, Carl Donnelly, and Gary Caverson, 3 pros. My legal support was from Gowling in Ottawa, Matthew Roy, and Doug Fife. And lastly, this is my display at Ramaco's. Gary had some nice things to say about the product. Because of its convenience, innovative design, and ease of manipulation, Bait-2-Go makes bait retrieval fast and easy. Thank you for your time.
Okay, judges, is there somebody who has one right off the bat? Okay, Peter, we'll start with you.
Congratulations again. I think you've got a great idea, especially in this type of environment, $8 billion worth of recreational. Oh, that's quite a market. I wish I was selling televisions into it. Big question I have for you is the manufacturer now, where are you getting all the parts from out of the country, I assume?
Some parts in Ontario, some parts in the US, and some parts overseas.
And at $25 per unit that you're selling, what's your gross margin on that? I didn't catch some of the numbers on it.
I'm selling them at 30 myself, and then I'm selling them to retail stores for approximately $20, $21. So the gross margin, if you average it out, approximately 44%.
So you're selling it to the stores at $21, they're selling it for $30. Okay, they're making that spread. And your cost, you're making 44%?
Yes.
So around $12 is what your cost is then.
Just a little bit of it.
Yeah, really quick math. And last question, do you have a website? And
There's a website, it's actually on every unit,
okay.
on the label.
Congratulations, thank you.
Yeah, great job. Looks pretty interesting. So you mentioned that the market is 250 million of accessories. Of that, what is you believe is the market of that 250 million, so in numbers, for accessories similar to yours or of that kind of minnow trap or something?
Not sure to 100% what all those big buckets would comprise as a percentage. I have all the stats. I'm not even going to guess as to what that would be in 250.
Okay, so just to clarify, if I'm an investor, because when you show the revenue, you're going not even to 1% of that 250 million. So I'm thinking, are you aiming too low or what? So that 250 million, what does it represent really? Does it include hooks? Does it include lines? What is included in that 250 million?
It does.
It does?
It does, yeah.
Okay, so you're going after a very small market then, it sounds like.
Small enough, yeah.
Okay. And in terms of patents, where did you file the patents so far?
The North American, so Canada and the US.
Okay. And then I imagine there's markets elsewhere too, like in Europe.
There is.
Okay.
There's actually lots of freshwater fishing in Europe.
Okay, so that's just a matter of time.
Exactly.
Cool. And then my last question is, the government grants that you referred to, the 200 million or the 200,000, I should say, is that something you already filed for or you're planning for?
Planning for.
Planning for. Okay, thank you.
Definitely job well done. I'm sure it, you can be nervous getting up there in front of the crowd, but you did a great job. Clearly the product was created out of your own personal need. A couple questions. You had mentioned you're looking to sell 3,500 units in 2015. Are you on target to hit that?
So far, yes, because we're growing every week. Like I said, just this past week, we got into home hardware in the area, and I'm in talks with one of the larger guys on the right as well, Costco. Might be getting in there at some point.
So how many units have you sold, let's say, to today?
Well, I only started my sales this past December, so I've only had really 4 good months, and most of the time I'm a pharmacist, so I can't really get out there and do that. However, I do want to start getting out there and promote the product. But I'm sure I'm at 700 plus. Last time I checked it, I did some numbers, we're at 500, and I'm definitely at around the 700 plus mark.
Now, how often would a consumer replace this item? Are they buying it 1 year? Are they buying it every 3 years?
Well, it's a non-consumable, so technically it should last as long as any other big bucket that's on the market. For all you fishermen, I mean, how often do you replace that bucket? Maybe if you've had your truck up on it, you're going to need to replace it, but otherwise, it's durable.
So
it lasts a long time.
So being a single SKU, and that's right now what you're promoting, do you have plans then to develop other product lines so that you're not just selling one single item?
Yes, absolutely. So far, it's just been personal money that funded all of this, but I do have some other ideas and some ancillary items that will complement this, and other ideas, not just that will complement that, but that are along the same lines of that. Once I have more funds accumulated with the sales of this one, we can contemplate doing that.
And then just one last question before I pass it to Min, but you had mentioned giving up equity in your company. What percentage are you prepared to give up?
Oh, that's a tricky question. That's something I guess I'd have to talk to the investor about one-on-one. Not really sure yet.
with that, and again, great job, and I particularly like how you saved, the bait after the rock fell. It was an excellent presentation. So I just had a couple of questions. I think you spoke to this, but you're currently the only shareholder of your company?
Correct.
Okay, and in terms you're looking to raise in total $400,000, and I'm just wondering how long do you see that money lasting? Will that be enough to meet all of your business goals and objectives? Just in terms of your burn rate, how long do you see that money lasting?
Well, I'm going to need it especially for 2016 and 17 mostly, and if it really takes off, then it should be okay after that. So really up till 2017, we'll be using that money.
Okay, and then in terms of your marketing strategy, I'm interested in your use of proceeds because I see that you're doing a lot of this marketing yourself and using the connections that you have. And I mean, Ramacas is fantastic and you're working the Costco connection and that's great, but will you be doing all of this marketing yourself or do you anticipate,
I'll be doing some of it. Right now, yes, I'm doing most of it, but I would like to delegate, and that's why I'd like to find possibly an investor that very well connected with marketing and connections to get that going.
Great, that's fantastic, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jay.